We back for episode 3. So episode 3 is gonna be a big episode. We getting more comfortable. We getting into it. Let me fix my mic a little bit. All right, we ready. We getting comfortable. We getting into it. It's a big week 3. I got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about. I couldn't wait to talk to you guys. We're gonna get in with the major headlines. This week that Pete Rose died. Actually, last week we recorded today on Monday Night Football. Is soon comes on. The ALCS is starting in a little while. Mets have possibly tied it by the time we're done with this recording. 1-1 in the NLCS. And actually, we're going to hop into that originally, then we get into the Pete Rose stuff. Both Yankees and Mets are in it. Mets is more the probable story. Yankees, the expectation, more from, as you see me, I'm a Yankee fan, but maybe more of the expectation is for them to be there. But we'll get into that later. Mets and Yankees are both there, which is kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy to me. The Dodgers are there as well with some of the similar expectations as the Yankees, where you're supposed to be there. The Guardians have maybe overachieved to some people's eyes. They're back where I think that their talent and the way they play baseball just feels right there in the ALCS and well deserved. This matchup, both divisions, both conferences are set up for amazing matchups. I'm gonna tell you guys both series. I don't have full faith in the Dodgers, so I have the Mets in 6. Let's see if the Mets can finish it off in 6. They do go back to the Dodgers for the last 2 games. They need to finish off in 6. 7 will be a problem. I have the Yankees in 5. I have them taking 1 game from us, which is going to be, I believe, I had them taking game 2. I had them taking game 2 going back to Cleveland. Hopefully the Yankees are up 2-1, but I have them taking game 2. I have them losing the series in Cleveland. I have the Yankees winning the World Series in 6. We will get later on into that more of a hard prediction for the World Series. But that's how I have both of the LCSs playing out. I have the Yankees taking the AL pennant. I have the Mets taking the NL pennant. Now that we got that through, let's get into Pete Rose. I have a few things to get off my chest about Rob Manfred. Pete Rose passed. They found a way for baseball to be the most incomplete Hall of Fame of all time. It doesn't tell the real story of baseball. Pete Rose is huge. I understand him rigging the games. It's an important factor. We got to find a way. And we have to use our head, because these guys pick and choose when they use our head. And that's a lot of the corporate mindset. When you pick and choose when you want to use your head, you feel like certain rules or whatever personal vendetta you have out for this person you have out. Pete Rose, outside of the years he cheated or whatever you want to exclude, was a Hall of Fame. He is the all-time leading hit leader. He's the all-time leading hit leader. He's played the most games of all time as well. This guy is legit. Like, let's stop. Pete Rose is one of the best players we have seen of all time. And there's no way that you cannot tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose. Good or bad. And the Hall of Fame, you can include all of it. It will mean so much that he still made the Hall of Fame despite him cheating. That's how successful his career was. You still could tell the story of baseball with including him in. And Barry Bonds had a Hall of Fame career besides the years you take out from cheating. You have to find a way to make this make sense. And it does make sense. Rob Manfred, you have found a way for the quote-unquote America's pastime, which I don't believe it is and don't believe it was. Maybe at that time, the 1940s, 1930s, but not anywhere after. Not the 60s, not the 70s, not the 90s, not like, let's stop. But with keep going. With me keeping going, Rob Manfred, you found a way to make baseball almost irrelevant. The NFL, college sports, we have WNBA and women's sports coming up now. NBA have completely taken over the calendars, the sports calendar. And you guys got to fit in when you get it. And October is your month. October is your month. But truthfully, we're hyped up and goosed up off of NBA coming back and NFL here in college football. You guys got to get in where you fit in. Rob Manfred, you're not doing a good job. I'm going to just say it here. You're not doing a good job. Pete Rose needs to be found. He needs to be honored. You guys need to find a way to honor him. In other news, in other major news, we're going to keep going. In other major news, the Washington Commanders have been humbled. And I say humbled because more importantly, Sometimes you get a little cocky as a team, but this team is good. And maybe I was wrong. This team possibly is a playoff team. And what they showed against the Ravens this week is that they may not be of elite caliber or a Super Bowl contender, but they can kind of stay in the room. They stood in that game for a while. Jaden Daniels, did not look super outmatched by Lamar. Lamar did outplay him, of course, or whatnot, but that is a two-time MVP. Again, like I keep continuing to mention, one of the all-time, which we're going to see by the time he retires, one of the all-time great quarterbacks. A veteran, a two-time MVP to a rookie who's only about 6 games in. I'm going to give credit when this dude, Jaden Daniels, held his own that game. I didn't expect them to win. I expected them to get what they got. And he still impressed me. He did his thing. I'm impressed with the rookie. I'm also impressed with the other rookie out there in Chicago, and Caleb Williams, where I came out and said that if you guys are gonna take him to take Chicago to the playoffs after only winning 7 games in Pac-12, you're silly. That young man already is 4-2 with 6 games into the league. I'm impressed with this rookie quarterback, with the top 2 quarterbacks. Drake May looked pretty of class the other day. This rookie class of quarterbacks are looking pretty swell. I'm not gonna lie. The rookie class of quarterbacks is definitely looking pretty swell, and we might have some real franchise changes in this year. And some years, maybe not as much. And we'll get into that a little bit more later with the Stop the BS segment, right? We have another major headline. Basketball's coming back. Make sure you guys look out for the Bettorsports preview. I'm going to do a whole segment just on NBA preview, just to break down the conferences, projections, possible top headlines that I want to discuss and where I stand on them or where I fall on it. Give you guys a little insight as you guys go into the year, and possibly some win totals or whatever, some early bets, some future bets. I want you guys to get into that. I'm going to throw out some gems for you guys too. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. Make sure you're in tune. Make sure you're liking, commenting, whatever you need to do, and subscribing on the YouTube page to make sure that you're in tune for that NBA preview. It'll be dropping within the next week, so make sure you do not miss out. Make sure everything is on. But we're going to continue to go ahead into the first segment. Stop the BS, please. Come on, I know that last week a lot of y'all like this, and I did enjoy that. A lot of y'all like this. A few people like the call it segment. We're going to get into that after, and I might have a little surprise for you guys for that one too. Stop the BS. The first people we're going to call out for Stop the BS is Joel Embiid. I'm going to start off with NBA. I'm gonna jump around here. But Joel Embiid today comes out and says that he may never play back-to-back as far as he sees in his career. As a Philadelphia 76ers owner, stockholder, fan, it's hard for me to see that you're comfortable signing up for that. You just signed to a 4-year suspension, which makes you have a 5-year deal for him. The guy's already 30, 31 now. That's a problem, and that's a problem statement. Big men of 7 feet don't get healthier. Legs don't get better. Injuries don't recuperate faster. It happens to be slower unless you're LeBron James, which, as we've seen throughout Joel Embiid's young career, that he doesn't have the same body as LeBron James. So I don't expect his body to hold up in the same way. So that means you may have problems going forward. I agree, and I see that you guys are trying to manage it. But you guys still have simple steps to take, such as winning the Eastern Conference Finals, such as making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which you have still yet to do with Joel Embiid. That's a problem. You add in Paul George, who has had his own history of struggling when to show up in a big moment. That's a problem. Hopefully they can count on each other enough, which we were hoping in LA for the Clippers, for James Harden and Paul George and them to count on each other enough, and for Kawhi Leonard's greatness to be able to take them over the top, that they get it done. But that's not what happened. I'm not so sure how much that was a productive statement. So I'm going to need you, Joel Embiid, to stop the BS. You got to figure it out. You just came off of a championship experience with the USA Olympic team. You had to come back with better energy, better mindset than that coming into the NBA season. Yes, maybe your mindset is get to the playoffs healthy and we good from there, copy, but that's not what you say. That's not what you say. You've been in the league too long to know that that was a bad move. That was not a smart move. We're going to continue with Stop the BS with the Jets and Robert Saleh and Jets fans. For the Jets fans that are coming out saying that Robert Saleh got fired unfairly, I want to stop you guys. Now, I've heard a few different points. Now, it may be a lot to do with the Israel and Lebanon situation. If that is the situation, Woody Johnson is in odds with a lot of his employees. Aaron Rodgers, former employee Robert Saleh. There are a lot of them believe in different personal stuff. That probably happens a lot on a football team. You have a lot of different grown men. You have a 53 roster plus their staff that are grown men that all come from different backgrounds, that have different values, and probably have different political views and stuff like that. And that's fair. That happens in any business, any organization, or anything like that. But it becomes public with Woody Johnson a lot, and a lot of it starts for me to feel like, and every owner does, every billionaire does, but this owner has the ego and wants to show he's the biggest man on campus. I've came out and said that that's a problem for Jerry Jones out there in Dallas. That could also be a problem for Woody Johnson in New York. Now, I do agree with this firing, though. Robert Saleh not only is, and it's okay for some people are just defensive coordinator. Some people are just coordinator, period, which is fine. Sometimes you're taking on too much responsibilities, and maybe you're a specialist. And he's a specialist. His offense was ranked 32nd. His defense was ranked within the top 5 of his whole state out there in New York for the Jets. That says something. It's not only the pedestrian quarterback play, because no matter what quarterback you plug in, it seems to be not that much progression. The best quarterback play we probably have seen was the stint of Mike White right before he got hurt with them trying to make a playoff run. So, and that's a 3-4 game stint. You have Aaron Rodgers, who also is not playing as well in that as well as you hope, but he is a 40-year-old quarterback coming off a torn Achilles, which is Woody Johnson's decision. I need Woody Johnson and the Jets to stop the BS. You guys gotta figure out what is the correct plan. I see Hassan Reddick is deciding to figure it out and come back and has changed agents. Hopefully, you guys, after the firing, after tonight, hopefully you guys pick up a big win, because I do have you guys tonight picking up a big win. But hopefully you guys can figure it out, because the start of this season has been a disaster. I agree with the firing. I do agree with it. You can't fire yourself. So, and I will say, you have you and your GM to find a way to stack the right team. I do like that you did not go with Nathaniel Hackett as the play caller. You went with Todd. Another great move. I love it. Those are good moves. Those are good moves. Young, innovative, creative play caller. I say you guys should be going to get Ben from the Lions offensive coordinator. Let's see what you guys do about that in the offseason. But the Robert Saleh firing, feeling like that was unfair. That wasn't unfair. Stop the BS to the Jets fans. Furthermore, Woody Johnson stopped the BS with all the extra innings to play some ball. Get your team to play some ball. You're too new of a GM to be having these problems, guy. I mean, new proof of an owner to have these problems. We're hearing your name too much, actually. I feel like we're hearing your name way too much. Way too much. Furthermore, on Stop the BS. Furthermore, on Stop the BS, we're going to call out Alabama. So Alabama's defense has been atrocious. Atrocious. They can't seem to get stops, big stops, ever since the Georgia game, and truthfully, ever since the first half of the Georgia game. Because after the first half of the Georgia game, they've been plummeted with points. That second half of the Georgia game, they got outbeaten. Georgia showed some fight at the end of that game. Last week, they lose to Vandy, which should never happen. Never, ever, ever happen. That should never happen. Vandy did not get an SEC win since 2019. Before that win, that's a problem. And you're coming off of a huge win for Georgia, for the program, and looking like, hey, Georgia may be taking a step back. Their reign of the conference may be done. And then you having back-to-back weeks like that. South Carolina has played up. Not everybody loves South Carolina or knows about South Carolina, but South Carolina is a tough team. They almost came out with a W there if they didn't beat themselves to me. They didn't beat themselves. Alabama did make some plays, did make some big plays towards the end, but Alabama must, and their defense must step up, figure it out. If you're going to be making a big run in the college football playoffs, you guys gotta figure that out. Furthermore, on Stop the BS, Ohio State in big games, man. And specifically Ryan Day, I need you to stop the BS. Dude, like, third base coach. You were put in a position to succeed, right? And not only were you put in a position to succeed, you're in a conference where usually before this year, you've only had to beat out one team. Iowa, I'm not going to address. Penn State, you should have had their number. And where you've had. So let me not say one team. Let me say about 3 teams. You've handled 2 of them for the most part. The one main team that you line up and size up to every year, other than the SEC conference, and until you lose, because when you lose, you say that you're not in the SEC conference, this, that, and the third. There's a whole bunch of stuff. If you want championship expectations, you're going to get championship slack. If you don't show up, you're going to hear about it. And that's my problem with Ohio State's base, Ryan Day and company. It's always an excuse about something. And then it just doesn't get finished. It doesn't get finished. You struggle against top 10. If I'm not mistaken, he's 1-6 against top five opponents or top 10 ranked opponents. That's a problem. If I'm not mistaken, the one win is Penn State. I'm just saying. The facts is in the pudding. We've seen it enough. Now, also, I will say your DC in a lot of these big games has struggled in a lot of these big games. But Ryan Day, that's on you. It's either he's struggling or you're struggling, one or the other. And if so, then this is a real job that somebody needs to be reprimanded. Somebody needs to be reprimanded. Somebody needs to lose their job at this point. Because this is a problem. If you guys, and you guys are more talented than Michigan this year, if you guys lose to Michigan this year with the quarterback situation over there, you guys are in trouble. Ryan Day should be fired. Fired. He has to stop the BS. There we go. And that segment, I love that. We love the Stop the BS segment. I just need to get that off my chest. Today, we don't got no caller person, right? I'm going to call it how it is for me. And I'm going to call it how it is this segment today. Next segment, we will be taking another call. I have the next 3 segments lined up as well as the NBA preview. I have a caller for that as well that's going to talk some knowledge to y'all as well. But today's going to be me. And I'm going to call it how it is. I want to call it how it is on the Yankees. The Yankees, since 2009, is 0-5 in the ALCS. I'm going to be very clear. Why a lot of the Yankees fans are not hyped as other teams are or stuff like that is because we've been here before. And you guys must show up, must handle business. Aaron Judge, you're the captain. There's other captains in our history where we're used to them showing up at the biggest moments. You just have to. We don't want to hear it's unfair. We don't want to hear the expectations. Or yes, maybe the expectations or the people saying that you're a choke. You are hitting 220 something. So that's not the worst of all time. What you're hitting in the regular season, we need to see that either be elevated or you need to match that. Stanton has outplayed you in multiple playoff series. Even the series we have lost to with the Red Sox, he almost willed us in that series. Stanton won us that last series against the Royals, where you showed up at the end. Yankees. There's no way I could utterly say this other than, like Derek Jeter said it himself in the documentary, if the Mets make it to the World Series and you make it to the World Series and you lose, you better find new addresses. Your real estate agent better be working overtime to get you out of here before that last pitch is pitched. Because my goodness, in the last 17 years, and I've been alive for 27, you guys have not had an easier road to the playoffs than this. And when I say easy, as far as team that you have handled and have experience handling. When I say easy, as far as the talent level for compared to other teams that you are facing. The Royals, you were more mature and better than them. I believe you're more mature than Cleveland. You are talent level better than Cleveland. If you face the Mets, all ways around, you're better than them. I'm going to make that clear. The Dodgers, you are in for a series you still must win. Yankees, let me make it clear. You must win this World Series. And that's just how it is. And that's going to be that segment, call it how it is. That's how I'm doing it. I'm calling it how it is. Feel me? Like, we're just gonna keep it nice and fresh. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The Yankees must handle business. The Yankees must handle business. I want you guys to make sure that you guys are locked in to the next podcast, episode 4. Episode 4, we're gonna have a nice caller, and he's gonna want to chop it up about a few things as far as the Eagles. This is a big Philly fan. He's gonna say where he stands. He's gonna give off his point of view, and we're gonna leave it at that. I want to quickly thank all you guys for tuning in, for sharing, liking, commenting. I always appreciate the participation and the interactions. I appreciate and I pray that you guys keep going and keep doing it. I'm going to try to take you guys different places with me. I'm having a lot of I'm having a lot of visions about this thing. I want to go to a stadium tour. I see a few people doing sweet stuff. I want to take you guys to the suites to show you how different the stadium do it and what it's actually looking like. I may be in a playoff game in the next 2 weeks, so I'm going to take you guys there. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment into the page. Power to the people.